Last Summer Productions presents Ebon Storms, an original fantasy audio drama.
In a world filled with magic, gods and men make war. The fabric of time is torn asunder, though the true tempest is not yet upon us. None shall weather these trials alone, and few survive them together, for there can be no balancing of the scales in the wake of Ebon Storms.
Last time in Ebon Storms, Episode 8, another murder had been attributed to the fugitive Charn Purloin, the High Priest of the Eastern Romalian Church of Illuma. The resulting persecution and torture of Charn's clave members in the East led them to believe he had abandoned them, a serious offense among thieves. The thief Marcin was sent west to bring him back to answer for his actions. Seeing Marcin as the best chance of getting to Charn before the bounty hunters, Allandra, Thangar, Trellin, Krannik, Elrad, and Nifigit joined Marcin in her search. Back in the Tower of Knowledge, the home of the Mages Guild, a meeting of the High Council revealed that it was the Guild that murdered the Eastern High Priest, the Guild who caused Charn to be framed for the deed. During the meeting, the mages, fearing that the cunning Charn would find a way to clear his name, resolved to eliminate the thief, else they be held accountable. And now, Episode 9, Trust Me.
In the Temple of Zendikar, in a room called the Skull Chamber, Selegna holds a jewel up, to better see it in the torchlight. He watches its dark blue surface shine in the ruddy orange light, aware of the trickle of alien power bleeding into his hand and his mind. Selegna watches the images come and go in this stone, a jewel nearly identical to the one worn by Allandra, worn by each of the blue mages. First he sees a tower, then the image wavers and becomes that of 5 figures seated at a circular table, a pentagram of 5 worried faces in a storm-filled world. Selegna smiles because he knows the storms are his doing, but not his alone.
Exquisite. That such a tiny crystal can affect so many lives. The Guild deserves a measure of respect. They have remained constant through many ages. The Mirror Stone always a secret. The Guild always at the core of things. A silent organization that has its hand at the wheel of fate. What fools my predecessors were not to have taken advantage of the Guild's power. No matter. I will be the first. Through one power-hungry traitor, I now have control of the mighty Guild. Even now they do Lord Zendikar's will, and they do not even realize it. Good. They finally cease their ramblings. I must speak now with my lackey.
Selegna stands and walks over to a table in the room's center. Placed upon this table is a yellowed old skull, worn and cracked with age. Its teeth are far too long and sharp to have been human. Reverently, Selegna lifts the skull to the level of his eye.
By the feral power of the grave, by the father of all that is dark, let the words of one whose soul burns with power lust speak now through this ancient vessel.
Ribbons of mist seethe and spit from within the empty sockets of the skull, which begin to burn with an unholy green light. The skull shudders in Selegna's hand, then rises of its own volition to hover in midair, reeking of 1,000 graves, emanating waves of bone-chilling evil. The withered jaw moves on its ancient hinge, and the skull speaks.
Who is it that has called me? By what magic am I held in this darkness?
By mine, my friend.
You risked much summoning me here. If the others found out...
You would be disrobed instantly, and your service to me and your dreams of ruling the guild would end. I would have to find another mage to do my lord's work.
Do not threaten me, Selegna. You would be hard-pressed to find another.
Of course. For the moment, you are invaluable to me. What news do you bring?
Nothing has changed. They regret the assassination. They regret placing the blame on the thief. They have yet to catch him. And every moment he is alive, they quail in their patriotic hearts.
Have they begun questioning, doubting, the visions of the Mirrorstone yet?
I heard first talk of it tonight. Though most staunchly refused to even consider the possibility, I noticed that the Grey Mage merely sat, listening. I think even he begins to doubt.
It was only a matter of time. The Grey Mage watches every vision that appears in the stone. It is logical that he would begin to doubt first, perhaps noticing in an unconscious way that the visions are not of the Mirrorstone's origin.
He could ruin all. If he ever discovers the piece missing from the central stone, he'll know it was taken by one on the High Council.
I would imagine he knows already. Perhaps tonight's meeting was meant to single out the traitor. Perhaps he knows it's you.
He would have me disrobed.
Knowing and proving are two entirely different things. As you told me, a majority vote by the council is needed to disrobe, and the Grey Mage would not dare come forward with his knowledge.
Why not?
The Lady Allandra is on a secret assignment in the west.
What? How can you know?
Currently, your sister Allandra travels in the guise of a violet mage, no less, toward Aragon.
How?
I have my resources. My question is, what will you do now that you know?
I'll have the Grey Mage exposed. Knowingly lying to the council's grounds for disrobing.
Oh, really? And how would you explain the source of your information? Think before you go making rash charges. You are not yourself innocent. You first need proof of the lie. You need Allandra. Have the Red Mages loyal to you go and capture her. Forge the Grey Mage's signature to make it look official. Meanwhile, I will send the stolen piece of the Mirrorstone back to you. Plant it in the Grey Mage's private chambers. Once Allandra is brought before the council, the other mages will question who gave the order to have her captured in the first place. Then you can confess it was necessary because, sadly, the Grey Mage can no longer be trusted. You can then find the darkened Mirrorstone, proof of the man's guilt. Denials will be useless at that point, and both he and Allandra will be out of the way.
I would be the hero of the guild. A brilliant plan, but many risks. Allandra won't be easy to capture, especially if she travels with others.
You have come too far to balk now. Life cannot be lived without risk. Danger begets success. You stand on the threshold of greatness. Would you turn back now? The dawning of our triumph.
I shall send my Red Mages at once.
Good. Good. Our discussion is over. By the shadow of the hand, let the grave fill once more. Soon, Lord Zendikar. Soon. Before the next moon cycle, the world will know your rule. The frail goddess once again gives power to her chosen, and once again they stand ignorant of their power. Nifigate and the others shall fail just as surely as the Paladin. Through me, your storm shall grow and overcome the land. When the cry for their goddess meets with silence, the world will turn from her and look to the guild, which will already be mine. Then the war will end. The reign of death will begin, and the children of the light are doomed.
Galena sits wearily, her back against a tree, a woolen blanket wrapped about her shoulders, as she stares into the darkening forest. She awaits Charn's return. He has been gone nearly an hour, backtracking to gauge the proximity of their pursuers.
Charn, is that you?
Get up. Gather our things. We're leaving.
But...
Now, they're not far behind.
Charn lifts Galena onto their horse, then jumps on himself. Spurring the beast forward, they gallop away from their camp. As they near the sloping bowl of a deep valley, he stops the horse suddenly, climbing off, pulling Galena with him. Charn looks around nervously, then sends the horse galloping away down the ravine.
What are you doing? That's our horse.
We aren't going that way. I've been seeing signs of a thieves' clave for several hikes now. One lies nearby. That's our best bet for now. Thangar and the others are less than 2 hikes away.
Where is this cave?
Clave, Princess. If I'm right, the entrance should be over this way. Come on. We should be able to make it in half an hour's time. The horse should throw them off for a while.
Charn and Galena continue for a time through the muddy tanglings of tree and brush until they come upon a shallow cave.
Here we are. Inside this cave, we should find the entrance to an underground cavern. Now listen, this is a thieves' clave. Follow my lead or we'll both be killed. I don't know how we'll be received. It depends on how much information they have and how many marks their leader has. To them, you will be my woman, my property. No, don't argue for once. Go along with this or they'll claim you, and trust me, you don't want that. Understand?
I guess, but I have a question. Do they know you? What if they've seen the wanted poster you told me of?
Then be ready to run.
Charn and Galena walk into the cave, which proves not nearly as shallow as it looked from without. They follow its curving, damp walls until they come to an intersection.
Which way?
Left, of course.
Oh, of course. Shouldn't we announce that we're here?
If there are any here, they have known of our presence since we passed into the cave. Finding the actual clave will prove our intent.
Charn and Galena continue to veer left. Soon they come to a dead-end wall.
Dead end. We took the wrong way.
Wait, Princess. This is no dead end. You just have to know where to find the door.
Charn reaches down, pulling a dagger from an ankle sheath. The dagger has a steel blade and an ebony crosspiece with several notched marks carved into it. Charn runs his fingers over the wall's surface, feeling every available crevice. Finally, he takes his dagger, running it lightly along the wall's crevices, tracing the shape of a diamond. This done, Charn presses the center of the traced diamond, causing that section of wall to fall inward, then swing to the right, leaving an entrance to a well-lit room. Standing before Charn and Galena are 3 armed thieves, 2 men and a woman.
Well met, Clave brothers, Clave sister. May I enter?
Show your clave knife, friend, that we may know who has the right of command. My knife bears 7 marks.
And mine bears 10. I claim the right of high mark, brother.
I've never met one with 10 marks before. I am honored, high mark. I am Varden, of the 3rd clave of the deep. This is my sister Bethan, and my brother Jander. To whom do I speak?
I am called Seth, and this is my woman, Galena.
You are welcome here. We were just about to eat. Won't you join us?
By the size of this hideout, I would have thought the clave was much larger. Where are the others?
A few are out on patrol and should be back soon, but most have journeyed to Aragorn. The high priest there is giving a public sermon this week, and all, within traveling distance, journey there. We thought there would be enough riches there for all the western claves to send delegates to the feast.
I'm sure the claves will gain much. Too bad I can't be there to share in it.
So tell me, Seth, from what clave do you hail?
I am from the clave of Morndale in the southern part of the east.
That explains your marks. A thief's life is much easier in the east. Many more rich people, you know.
Ah, you insult me, Jander. Though the east may have more riches, it also has more guardsmen. In the east, you must constantly worry about the guild or palace guards. Here, there is little law. Why, the first town I traveled through after I crossed the mountains was so small I was able to steal a man's prize jewel, brag about it, and leave town without even breaking a sweat.
You must be a man of many talents, Seth. Tell me, how did you acquire such a young one?
Sister, you should not ask about a man's property.
I won her in a card game. I have yet to decide whether or not to sell her.
Would any of you like some food?
No,
Are you well?
An old burn scar. It sometimes still pains me. The mountain dwarves are masters at weaponsmithing. I was caught trying to steal a valuable sword. Instead of killing me, they decided to make an example of me. When swords are forged, the smith must wear heavy metal-plated gloves. I was branded with one, then set free. The burn went deep and reopens from time to time.
May I never steal from a dwarf.
We have some holly root ointment here. Perhaps I can soothe some of your pains later.
My sister, always on the lookout for new prey. Well, enough small talk. Why are you here? I intuit that you're in some kind of trouble. Else you would not be here.
Does it matter?
When it affects my clave, it does. You outmark me, so I am bound by the code to help you. But I, at least, must know our enemy.
Some people from a southern town. They think I killed someone. I didn't, of course, but since I was there, I was blamed. A small group gives chase.
You will have the assistance you require, Brother Seth.
The patrol returns, and they are in haste. Perhaps they encountered your pursuers.
I can hear one clear set of footsteps. One sounds like he is dragged.
Varden, Jander, and Charn all draw their daggers, crouching next to the diamond entrance. Bethan grabs Galena by the arm and shoves her behind a curtain against the back wall. Bethan draws a dagger herself and joins the others. The four watch as the door pivots back, revealing two young men. One stands tall, wearing a torn and bloody black shirt. The other lies propped unconscious against the wall, in critical condition. His entire left side has been scorched by fire.
Bethan, take Sandus to the table. See what you can do for him. Lind, sit down and tell me what happened. Who attacked you?
Girl, come help me.
Who's the stranger?
His name is Seth. He is from an eastern clave. His dagger bears 10 marks.
I'm honored to meet you, High Mark Seth.
Who attacked you?
We were finishing our patrol when we heard the sound of horses in the distance, coming from the east. We hid behind some bushes, hoping to score some loot. Then we overheard some of their conversation.
Who were they?
Dark priests. They spoke of a plan for something awful for Aragorn. We think they plot to kill the High Priest. They left, or so we thought. We waited until we thought they were gone, and started back. We moved silently enough for a while to get well out of their range. But when we emerged from our cover, 2 of them were standing there, waiting for us. One of them smiled at Sandus, pointing his black wand, and suddenly one side of his body caught fire. I tried to put it out, but it wouldn't quit. The other priest just stared at me and said something. I got scared. I just grabbed Sandus by the arm and ran. Somehow we got away. Sandus didn't get very far before he collapsed, so I had to drag him the rest of the way. I got him here as fast as I could, but...
Is there a second exit from this cave?
Of course. Why?
People do not walk away from dark priests. They are allowed to escape. They'll probably wait outside to kill the rest of the clave in one motion.
You sound as if you've faced them before.
I have, and I can tell you they do nothing by accident. Very few people alive can defeat one dark priest, let alone 2.
Is that one of your marks, Brother Seth?
I and a group I was with faced a powerful one once. We won, but at a very high cost.
Varden, come and see this. I think Sandus will live.
Across the room, Sandus lies on a table. Standing over him are Bethan and Galena. Galena gently rubs some white ointment against his left shoulder, covering it with a strip of water-soaked cloth. Already, most of the man's left side has been covered with them. Charn, Varden, Jander, and Bethan stand back and watch as Galena bandages his leg.
It seems you've won quite a prize in this one, Seth. She's quite the healer.
Please, may we talk over in the corner? I've done all I can to ease his pain, but I can't heal his wounds. He's dying. Only a priest can heal those evil burns.
Are you sure? But he looks so much better.
Only because his wounds are covered with bandages. That's more of a comfort for you than him. His flesh is nearly burnt away. He needs more than I can give. He needs Illuma's healing.
But there aren't any priests near. The closest ones are in Aragorn.
No, he won't survive that long. May I speak with Seth in private?
Seth?
If you would.
Father Nifigit could heal.
Are you crazy? Nifigit travels with a group of people who want me dead.
Not all of them. You said you thought Krannik would defend you. Nifigit has a good heart. Even if he doesn't like you, he'd never turn his back on one in need. He's a priest of Illuma. I trust you, because though you are a thief, I think you hold your word. I never for a moment believed you had murdered anyone. I saw the pain you felt when you heard Farsha's death, and I also saw the pain on Farsha's face when she thought you were going to die. She told Father Jonas you were a friend. She didn't judge you by your profession. I guess I shouldn't either. Others have helped and trusted you. Others have risked their lives to help you. Can't you do the same for another?
You think Father Nifigit will heal Sandus? under these conditions?
I know Father Nifigate Charn. He would heal a dark priest on principle.
All right, then. I'll try to save Sandus. I'm bound by the Thieves' Code to try regardless, but I will do it my way. Krannik may trust me, but the others, Thangar especially, think very little of me. We need the Father's help, but we don't have the opportunity to ask for his cooperation.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that we'll have to kidnap the good Father. Don't worry, we won't hurt him, or the others for that matter. It's the only way to save Sandus.
I know you're right. Just don't hurt the poor man.
Don't worry, Princess. I'll take good care of him. Varden, I think we may have figured out a way to get our hands on a priest of Illuma.
The pursuing party gives pause, part way down a bowl valley, less than a hike from the place where, not so long ago, Charn and Galena sent their horse galloping down the faint path.
Now where? There's the horse, but no sign of Charn or the girl.
They wouldn't have gotten very far on foot. Spread out. We might be able to see them from the slope of this valley.
No. The horse is a diversion. Look, the prints aren't as deep. Charn and the girl probably ran it down into the valley, hoping that we would not have stopped as we did. A good ploy. Send the horses off in one direction and head off in another. Or hide and follow at a distance.
Follow? Smart. Last thing you'd expect.
And the pursuers aren't pursued.
So we have two options. Either follow this fake trail and wait for Charn to find us, or...
What? What's wrong?
A spell. We've just been magically silenced.
We can't use magic.
Only guild mages know this spell of deadening.
But why would the guild attack its own kind?
I don't know, but...
Someone approaches.
Riding up the hill on a large roan mare comes the red mage Caulder. He carries no physical weapon, but the sharp scent of magic lies heavy in the air about him.
Stay your weapons. You are in no danger of attack. I wish to speak to the Lady Allandra.
What is the meaning of this, Calder? How dare you silence me? Release the spell immediately, or I shall have you, and your invisible compatriots, disrobed for malfeasance.
I am sorry, my lady, but I cannot. You have been charged by council with several crimes. I have been sent to see you return to the tower. Hear now the formal charges. By order of the Guild High Council, Allandra the Blue, you have been charged with the following crimes against the Guild: impersonation of a colored mage, dereliction of your duties as a member of the High Council, lying to the Gray Mage, unauthorized absence from the tower, and other charges which may be specified not in present company. Allandra the Blue, you are hereby ordered to return with me this day and answer to these charges.
Allandra the Blue?
Yes, I'm a blue robe. Who makes these charges? I would see the writ of arrest. I'm here at the request of the Gray Mage himself.
It is he who signed the order, my lady.
I demand to see it.
As you wish, my lady.
Thangar, what goes on? The Red Mage's lips are hidden to my sight. What is he saying about Allandra?
They're saying she's a liar.
Everything seems in order. It looks as though I have no choice but to return to the tower to sort out this matter. I will, though, demand that this man...
What?
...accompany me. He is a renegade wizard with information vital to the guild, and I will not jeopardize my purpose, even for my arrest. I would have a moment with my companions, Calder. We are silenced, and I know your red robes circle as we speak. Surely, you see, I wish only to say farewell. Then the boy and I will be more than happy to...
I am sorry, my lady, but my orders were specific.
I don't care what your orders are. I still outrank you, and thus I demand your respect. We present no danger to you and your fellows. The silence prevents us from doing anything. I have a responsibility to carry out my mission, and the right to defend myself against these charges in fair hearing of the council. This man will allow me to do both.
Now, wait a second. I'm not...
You will be silent, renegade. I'll speak with you in a moment. As far as security is concerned, if you remember my teachings, you were a brilliant student, I recall. You have at least half a score red robes surrounding the valley, spells at the ready, waiting for the slightest hint of resistance. Now stand your distance and wait for me there. The renegade and I will be there presently.
Yes, my lady.
What are you?
Be silent. I've no time for your questions. I've daunted him for the moment, but he won't give me long. I know you have many questions and understand little of this. I am a blue robe, member of the High Council. I was sent here by the Gray Mage himself to discover who had crossed time's barrier and what your intentions were. I disguised myself as a violet mage for your protection as well as mine. People respect a violet mage. Blue robes would have raised too many questions. As for these charges, they are unfounded. I was sent here by the Grey Mage himself, and only he was supposed to know my quest. The signature on that document is forged. Elrad must accompany me if we are to escape. As you say, your powers use no magic. Once taken, they will bind our hands, then release the spell of silencing, for it is exhausting to maintain. Bound mages can cast no spells, but you can free us with your abilities. My life is forfeit if you let them take me alone. A traitor holds office in the High Council.
What?
He must want me dead.
You've lied to us from the beginning. What makes you think we'll believe
You cannot! But know this, your lives are forfeit as well. They will not allow witnesses. That is why Caulder preserves his facade of politics. He doesn't intend to let the rest of you live long after...
Enough. Assume we believe you. You know this, Caulder. What sort of attack will he order against us?
I would handle things as has progressed so far. No aggression until the victims have split up. Then double back and attack soon after.
I believe you. We must help Allandra as...
You trust her still? After the lies we've witnessed? You are blind.
Marcin's right. She helps us now because she fears for her own skin. We have to decide what's in our own best interest.
I've decided. I trust Allandra.
Dang it.
And I'm going with her.
Thank you, Elrad. As soon as we can free ourselves, we'll double back and help you. Thank you, Caulder. We are ready.
Starring in order of appearance, Michael A. Tomazic as the narrator, Rob Berry as Slagna, Kurt M. Wiegel as the Spirit Skull, Kara Bradley as Galena, Will Chandler as Charn, R. Gary Hatchell as Barden, Shane Fox as Gender, Hope Campbell as Bethan, C. Jordan Myers as Lynn, Erin A. Cook as Allandra the Blue, Bert Jean as Thangar, Jennifer Lewis as Marcin, Chris Fiddle as Krannik the Green, Chris Hutchins as Elrad, Thomas C. Ruddick as Caulder the Red, and Christine Long as Trellin. Ebon Storms was written and directed by Shane Ernst and Darrell Goffinet. Original music composed and performed by Edward Hauser and Scott Spear. Chief Editor, Shane Fox. Technical Engineer, Scott Spear. Art and Publicity, Shane Fox. Last Summer Productions would like to thank the Western Kentucky University Department of Music and Purdue University. This is Shane Ernst. This has been a Last Summer production.